Good morning. Today I'm working with Noble Stonework from Dry Stone TV. Check out their YouTube channel if you're into dry stone molding, because they've got a job that requires a little indent. Here we are then. This is the job. So we got this gnarly bit of steel here that's been put in, and it's over time it's just rusted and blown out this section here. So we're hoping that we can just chop it down here and not come through the face. So we're going to chop this section out, all the damaged bits, so probably down to here, right up to here, and go in that way as well if we can, because we don't really want to come through the face, because if you come through the face it's just going to look a pretty ugly, this big square thing sticking through there. We'll see. I'll get chopping, see where we're at. So first of all, got to set everything up, get some power out here, got transformer and all the rest of it. It's important when working with sandstone that you make sure you don't wear the dusty clothes home, because the dust is really bad for you. So clean clothes, dirty clothes, just like that. Right, let's get marking up. I'm going to draw a nice plumb line down here, and then we can level off of there. Been leaded in this, so that is molten lead that's been poured into the hole to hold the steel in place. Pretty common method, old school. You get some lead, melt it down, pour it into the hole, and it holds your steel into your metal, into your stone. And then eventually this, the metal rusts, expands, and blows open the stonework, which is good for like modern day stonemasons, because a lot of our work is basically sorting out all the ferrous metal fixings that got put into stone. Anyway. Here we have it, nice clean hole, tidy the corners in with mallet and chisel. But we've got this perfectly level, this perfectly level, this perfectly plumb, and this perfectly plumb. So we know that we're working off of a square here that's pretty much bang on, is the theory. But we'll find out. So I've got to take some measurements, cut the block out, and then we'll try it in. It's going to be a case of trying it in. We'll oversize it to start with, try it in, see where we need to trim it off, trim little bits off until we eventually get it to fit in really nice and tight. Just measuring this up. Whoa, steady on. It's 140 wide by 491 by 90 deep. And 90 deep, it's only actually, it's 83 mil deep. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it 90 mil deep. And once we get the block to face, then we'll draw our face on, cut the face back, because it's got a battered finish, which is a chiseled finish. So then I'll need to chisel the finish on it, and then we'll fit it in afterwards. Don't want to be hitting the stone with the chisel once it's in the wall. I'm having a Pepsi Max break, and Bert's doing a mix. So you can watch Bert do a mix for a little bit if you want. Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till
till the day I die.
We've got this cut to dimension. I've left the depth just rough because I've got to take that surface down anyway. That's just rough just to basically get most of the weight off of it, so it's easier easier to try it in and out of the hole, because the last thing you want to do is snip the old stonework because it's like been polluted over years, and so that's why it's black. As soon as you chip that off, obviously the new stone underneath is like a yellow colour, so it means that the black and the yellow contrast so much that it's like, oh my god, what have you done? You've ruined this stone. Anyway, let's try it in the hole and see how well it fits. You're the first ever camera person for main stone carving. Oh, so right, can I nick that? Yeah, thank you. So we fit here, but we're a bit tight on the back. So I've got to take this down slightly, and then it will give us a bit more of a joint room there. But height wise, we're okay there. We've got about 1 mil on the top, and then obviously it's touching on the bottom. So it'll be a really nice tight joint. So we've just got to pull that back. Attempt number 2. It's a little bit tight up here, but other than that, I think it's almost touching at the back. And the way we can find out is if I draw a line on like that, and a line on like that, and a line on like that, and when I pull it out, I can measure off that line and see how deep I am in the wall. After a little bit of investigation work, I've worked out that this top little corner is what's stopping me from, look at that, is that gonna, look at that. Just gonna chisel that corner back, and then hopefully that will free up that back corner and allow it to go in a bit deeper. What are you doing, Bert? And what I'm going to do now is go to the stone, and I'm just going to chamfer all the back corners and take like a 5mm chamfer off all the way around the back, so none of the corners can impede it going in any further. There we go, it fits. So now I've got it to fit, I'm going to draw this face line on all the way around, straight line up the back. Now cut that face back and get that face so it's nice and flush to this. If anything, slightly recessed from here, because we've got to allow for some mortar in the back. And then I'll try it in, make sure that it is. And then I'm going to bat it and get this tooled finish that we have on the rest of it. Be asking, what the hell is batting? But batting is when you use a 2-inch chisel, or basically a wide chisel, and a mallet to create a tooled finish. So I will show you. You start off, it's just about giving it a good whack. Making sure to try and there we go, a little close up. Making sure to try and take off all the top surface is the plan. If you leave too big a gap between the tool marks, it looks naff. Because obviously traditionally you'd be finishing off stone by batting it, but everything would have been done by hand, so you're already working with a rough surface. Whereas now, because we use power tools to get the flat surface before we bat it, you can make it look a bit naff by having lots of flat spots on the top. But yeah, I've got to do this over the whole thing. Shouldn't take too long. in theory. Cue the time lapse. And there we have it, all tooled up, nice finish on it. I can't look at it. Oh, there we go, in the sun. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Lovely tooled finish. So now that fits, I'm gonna drill 2 holes in the jamb and then mark out on the back of the stone, drill the holes for the pins, and then we're gonna have to work out the ironwork situation. Now that I've drilled the corresponding holes in the stone, got 2 stainless steel dowels. Oh, I'm going a little bit too far. That's okay. And now I'm going to dry run it and make sure that this stone fits in with the pins in the right place. Because it can be quite difficult to line the holes up sometimes. Let's see if it fits. Aha! Yeah, we're all good, it fits. So the pins line up nicely. So we know that now when we fill that with epoxy resin, because we're going to epoxy resin the pins in, and then we're going to put a lime, just neat lime in the joint, just to allow the moisture to pass in and out of it. We don't want to completely encase it in epoxy, because then you're just asking for trouble, you know. You end up with water retention in the stone. It's not very good for the stone. So, epoxy the pins, lime mortar the joints. So whilst it was in, I worked out where the holes for the catch need to go, and I've just cleaned them up a little bit with a grinder. So that needs to go in there, basically, like that. So there's gonna be a little bit of jiggery pokery now. And after much jiggery pokery, I've made the holes big enough for the door to close. Ta-da! Right. Now everything's dry run. We know everything fits. So now what we gotta do, mix up some just lime slurry, soak the stone and the jam as much as possible in water, mix up some epoxy, stick in the holes, put a load of lime slurry on it, sponge it off, job's good. Right. I've wet the hole, that's what she said. I've got this, got the stone bathing at the moment, doing exactly the same thing, making sure that it doesn't suck all the lime moisture right next to the 240 power. Move that out of the way. To make sure all the moisture doesn't get sucked out the lime. Just mixed up some neat lime here, just NHL 3.5, which is like a soupy consistency. And then we got our epoxy that we'll mix up for the pins. Right, now I've got that in and it's all sponged off nicely. I need to epoxy this bad boy in because right now it's just propped in. But it fits nicely and the catch sits on it well. So just a bit of epoxy. That'll go in there. What do you do?
Bloody well.
What a bit.
Chance of being fine too.
Yeah. Right. The epoxy's in. There's excess epoxy, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it go off so it becomes like rubbery, and then I'll cut it back then, because then that's the cleanest way of getting epoxy off, because there's a little bit on here. So I'll just give it 15 minutes or something, 20 minutes maybe until it's rubbery. Then we'll pull it off. There it is. As all I've got to do now is wait for the epoxy to go off, I'm gonna get dressed out of my dusty clothes and back into my moderately dusty clothes. This is the fun bit. Look, you go like this. You go. There you go. Mainstone carving, mainstone carving, mainstone carving. Branded. So this has just got to like the rubbery stage now. So now I can just cut it away like that before it gets brittle, and then it'll clean it up is the plan. Kind of hard to do with one hand and film at the same time. There you go. Thanks, Lydia. Yeah,
You've got 3 hands.
yeah, I've got 3 hands all of a sudden. Lush. Lovely. Job done. There we go, another job done. Thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, that would be thoroughly appreciated. Until next time, catch you later.